Hey guys, this is Chris. So what you see right here, I gotta make more strong alkaline water and strong acidic water. Now, what is the strong alkaline and the strong acidic water? Well, I'm gonna start off with the strong alkaline water. The strong alkaline water is an 11.5 pH level that emulsifies oil. So anything that's oily based will be able to remove it and so on forth. And the 11.5 comes out from this top nozzle. And the strong acidic water comes from this bottom nozzle. And now the strong acidic water, that is a germ, disinfect, bacteria killer, and so on forth. And with the power with this machine, you also have to include the electrolysis enhancer. Now the electrolysis enhancer, it's mostly 99% purified water with little as 1% of sodium chloride, which is known as a table salt. But with salt and electricity, it's able to perform as a conductor, and that's how it's able to make that very high and very low ORPs for the strong alkaline and the strong acidic water to produce that emulsifier and germ bacteria killer. Now, the 11.5 and the 2.5, you don't want to drink it, but if you accidentally do drink it, you will not be hospitalized, you will not need to call poison control and so on forth. It just makes a safe, natural bleach type of deal. So, and also when we make these, we store them in these containers. You know, you want to keep it tight sealed, and also you want to keep away from the light as possible. And to get the best results out of this, you know, store it in a cool place or your refrigerator. What I always love to do is I love to just make it fresh, store it for a day, and use it whenever I need to. And this can last for about 30 days. So, but even if you do use the strong alkaline, the strong acidic freshly made, it will still be fine for whatever it is you're using for. But I feel like the best results come in handy when you store it in cool temperature for a full day. And I'm going to show you how it works, and I'm going to zoom you in on how it goes and so on forth. But before I do that, I'm going to show you where the electrolysis enhancer goes. So on my K8 machine, the plate right here, you know, I'm removing it, and the electrolysis enhancer, you put them in this kind of bottle and so on forth. And usually a full bottle of this can produce about roughly somewhere in the gap of 1.25 to 2 gallons of each, the 2.5 and the 11.5. It varies within that range. So I'm going to put this in, put this back in, and we're going to make some 2.5 and 11.5. Now, the reason why I have my machine on top of something is because since my sink isn't so deep, you know, that's why I want to be able to fit my container in and catch the 2.5, and then the 11.5 will be able to catch with no problem. So we're gonna put the cover back on, and we're gonna hit the button at. So now that's gonna make the strong acidic water, and with my faucet, I gotta hit the diverter to transfer it over to my machine for it to produce. Now, to understand the flow, right, I'm going to turn my faucet on before I hit the diverter. Usually you want your flow of pressure to be somewhere like that. I'll zoom you in on a fresh idea on how to properly make this 2.5 and the 11.5. So, you know, before I go with that diverter, you want something like that, but since it's kind of elevated, we're going to have to add a little bit more pressure. But I want to show you guys a rough idea on the type of flow of pressure you want the water to come out of your machine to produce that awesome 11.5 and 2.5. So I'm going to zoom you in and let me get the caps off. Allow it for like 10 seconds roughly. All right, that's a little too fast. Let's just get it right around there. And I mark my containers so that way I know which one's which. So now I'm going to begin collecting. Right around that flow of pressure. That's how we're going to get good quality 11.5 and the 2.5, because if you apply too much flow of pressure, you're not going to get that right 11.5 and 2.5. It's always important to know your pressure. So I'll come back and zoom you. As you see right there, so but what I can do is put the 11.5 on the counter and just move this over. Now I'm going to get my next containers ready. So this is the 11.5. That's the 2.5. So anytime when you get these containers, you're going to get, it comes with this. So you're going to always put the tight seal on, and then your cap. Voila! That keeps it nice and fresh, and you're keeping it tightly sealed. And when you store it, with these dark containers, you don't want the sunlight, you don't want the light to really touch it, because it will kind of ruin the maximization to the 11.5 and the 2.5. So, I gotta let it keep going. All I know is I'm gonna be ready to swap the 11.5 container. So, you want a nice little slow pressure, but not too slow, because the machine will tell you to increase your flow. I know pretty soon my tank is going to run low, and once it notifies me, I'm going to show you what to do next. So in case it runs out, I'm going to show you a solution, what to do. I'm halfway on the 11.5. Geez, I thought I would run out, but it's still going. I'm about 3/4 full on this 11.5. And now, you know, after I'm done making the 11.5, I'm going to show you, you know, when we switch the waters. Okay, I'm full on this, so we're gonna... Alright, so now we have to refill. What I always like to do is just shut the water off. So when that tells you to refill, you know, you take the plate off. You know, you unscrew the cap on this. You take your electrolysis enhancer, and it comes double sealed, so we don't want to lose that washer because that's the important seal. So put it back in there. And then we're going to put this thing back in place. And I'm going to show you closely on making sure how you put the seal the right way. I'm going to come up closer. So when you saw me take the thing out, right, I'll bring you in some light. You know, you're going to insert the bottle like this. That suction part, you always want it in the bottom, because if you accidentally put it on the top, so that suction part you see close to my thumb, you always want that in the bottom, because if you put it on top and you see how there's a little gap or whatnot that's not liquid, and you put it back in, and you put that suction part on the top, the machine's gonna think your electrolysis enhancer is empty. So we're gonna insert this back into place, and you're gonna notice that the cap is, going in an upward position like that to be able to get to. Let me just, excuse me for a sec. And we're gonna insert it back in. So now we got it in. We're gonna put the plate back on. And since we've already made our 2.5 and the 11.5, so we gotta run some water. And when we switch to the drinking waters, it's gonna do a self-clean before you drink any other water or if you use the beauty water. So you gotta allow that clean cycle to go through. And now you're ready to drink the water. So And so there you have it, guys. That's how you make your 11.5 and your 2.5. Now, the 2.5, like I said, is a germ disinfect bacteria killer, and the 11.5 is an oil emulsifier. And also, you can use these types as household cleaning. So if you're dealing with any of your household items that are a little oily, use the 11.5. For a nice sanitizing, use the 2.5. And also the 11.5 you can use as a laundry detergent. And so, with the 11.5, you're gonna wanna use 1 to 2 quarts of it to do laundry. So if you were doing some automotive work, anything greasy and grimy, you're gonna wanna use 2 quarts of the 11.5. Regular clothing, just use 1 quart of it. Anything that's really extra dirty, use 2 quarts of the 11.5. And that's all I have. And in other videos that I've posted or I'm going to post, you're going to see how the 2.5 and the 11.5 works. That's all. Take care.